So there are two scenarios that could play out here. Either the colonies or the Europeans either declare war on the natives of this land, or they don't. And this is really, really crucial. It doesn't really matter either way. I mean, they have, like I said, the next 100 turns to be able to really make some progress and capture a few cities. But if they don't, then they're going to be in a tough spot. However, one tribe that won't be affected much are the Chinook, and let's just go ahead and go over their unique ability and their unique units. So they start off coastal. They're actually the only natives that start off coastal in this scenario. That's because their unique ability gives them an automatic improved. They automatically improve Salmon and Orca. They automatically improve coastal resources as well as Salmon and Orca may periodically migrate to and from cities within the coast, from the coast, being likely to migrate to cities adjacent to rivers as well. I have no idea what that means, but that is really, really cool. And let's go ahead and check on the resource icons. Yes, there they are. Boom, there are the Orca. The unique unit also corresponds to this unique ability. There is Salmon. So that's really, really awesome. And they are kind of up on the west coast of the United States. If they continue to move down south, more towards California, I mean, they can really do a lot here. And is this actually providing them any extra yield? I mean, it looks like, yeah, 3 food. This has a little bit of gold because I believe, I'm not sure exactly why. Is that a Pantheon that's improving? It might be a building inside of their capital, but it is providing culture to them, a little bit of extra culture. So their unique unit is a boat, and this boat, pretty much, it's going to retreat before combat. Again, I have no idea what that means. I have no idea what that entails, but it sounds really cool, especially because if anyone... First of all, they're going to dominate the Pacific Ocean. No one, I don't think, if anyone does in fact get a coastal city somewhere along this region, it's going to get dominated by the Chinook tribe. So what do we have? So these unique units are going to prevent sources of Salmon and Orca from migrating because, like we talked about, they will migrate. I'm guessing that's going to move around their territory. We might see these resources kind of move up north or something like that. It also is much cheaper to construct than a workboat. So it seems like this is... It might be a workboat. That's what the unique unit sounds like. Anyways, the unique building is a replacement for the lighthouse. Unlike the lighthouse, the plankton house, it's the plank house, I'm sorry, may be built in cities with access to any body of water. It doesn't matter if it's the ocean. It could be river or lake. Wow. And it is locked earlier. When built on a river, it also increases the gold yield of trade routes. So very, very cool naval-based civ. I actually really, really like this, and I might need to think about playing them for my own maybe single-player campaign. But yeah, no, the Chinook tribe, we're going to have to keep an eye on them because they are safe. That's why I wanted to focus on them, is they are very much safe from the Europeans. They're safer from the colonies as well. They don't really have to worry about this much. Now, this could end up being a bad thing or a good thing. You know, a lot of people think that, well, since they're so far away from the Europeans, everything's going to be okay. But the Chinook tribe might not be as... See, here's the thing. The Iroquois, if they end up surviving within this region, are going to get a lot of extra science from the trade routes that have to go towards them. I imagine that somebody like Washington, England, or Canada is going to trade with the Iroquois, or the Iroquois, I know, but someone is going to, if not all 3 of them. If they get really lucky, then every single one of these civs will trade with them, which means a lot of science back, which means that Hiawatha is going to be really successful in getting back a lot of the technology and catching up to these civs that are very close to each other. Let's continue onward. Again, it is turn 32, and I haven't even done anything with my spy, and I intentionally did that for the first video because it's like, what are we really going to spy on within the first, 50 turns? But let's go ahead and kind of move him around, see where we want. Let's go ahead and look actually somewhere in the northern Mexico region, or I guess South Texas. Let's go to Mexico, because Mexico does have some interesting... They got an interesting story on their line, on their hands, I guess I should say. Mexico City is bordering the Aztec capital as well as the Mayan capital. They're very close to each other, and the Mexican army have up their own musketmen. They have some cannon units as well. They've got a scout. They're exploring the territory. I mean, you know, the Jaguars aren't going to be able to push back. I know that we talked about how the Aztecs are probably going to be the best in this scenario to be able to defend because they're, you know, among the only natives that have a replacement to their warrior with this unique unit. But you know, I mean, how far is that really going to get them? They're going to really have to spam these Jaguars. Again, I don't think I mentioned this too much, but in terms of the mods I'm playing with, besides obviously the Civ mods, I am playing with the Smart AI, Info Addicts, and that is it. And then, yeah, this is the United States map pack that I kind of modified a bit here to make it more entertaining and... did a couple things to make it easier for the AI to function and to make it more exciting, I guess you could say. I'm also excited to see how the Sioux do with their roaming bison. And actually, do they have any of those just yet? I see the miner here. I'm probably going to confuse the mine and the Sioux quite. Actually, I mean, they're not super close to each other. Let's remove the resources. Actually, no, we want the resources for now. Yeah, so there are these bison here. They're wild bison, and it's actually going to give them extra gold and culture after chivalry is researched. So that will be interesting. Again, and because they've got a lot of planes, the Sioux really, and we're focused on the Sioux a little bit. And if you've been watching my channel for a while, you would have seen the Sioux in his previous campaign. But because they have access to a lot of planes, then yeah, I mean the Sioux are going to be awesome. And I mean planes as in like the land formation, the form of land, not planes. They might have access to planes by the end of the game if they catch up in technology. Anyways, so what's going on here? What's going on with Mexico? They're preparing for a sneak attack against another civ, as well as we have. So he's plotting against the Aztecs. That's big. The Anishinaabe and the Canadians have made peace, and I'm hoping that I'm pronouncing that right. I really tried hard to research the correct pronunciation here. The Anishinaabe, I believe it is. We also have the Cree to the north. They also have a. I mean, I haven't talked about them too much. It is kind of focusing in on the Iroquois. They have an interesting position just because they border the most amount of nations, and when in terms of other nations like France and Spain, I think they're going to be at each other's throats for a while. Napoleon needs to strike first though, because he needs to utilize those musketeers before Isabella gets anything. Oh, actually, Isabella has their own terracios. I forgot about that. So we might see unique unit versus unique unit. But the Cree have a lot of different possibilities here too. They need to worry about the Sioux to their west, obviously, but if they decide to expand out towards the east, that might be a good idea. Become friends. Get closer and closer to Ottawa, and become friends with Lester, the Canadian leader, and maybe, I don't know. I mean, he might be able to do a lot of things there. Let's see what's going on here. So secretly plotting against, that is the Zapotec leader, huh? Okay, so he's playing against so far the Aztecs and the Zapotec. Probably a better move to go. Well, actually, the Zapotec. The reason why he's probably playing against the Zapotec is it doesn't seem like they have very many units around here. Definitely not. Also have to be careful of the Shoshone, and I'm wondering if they're utilizing those Pathfinders to their best abilities right now. It seems like a lot of the ruins have already been founded, so. I guess so. I believe this is the pronunciation of this tribe is the Deni, and they already have their 5th settler. Now that's a big. I've already give a lot of. Oh, well, the Sioux have their 5 cities. We did just check on that. But it is really important to watch out for those civs that have 5 cities already. I mean, yeah, it was expected that, because I started a lot of these tribes off with 4 settlers, so I expected those 4 cities to go down fast, but to see a tribe go like 30 turns later for a 5th city, that's pretty impressive. Okay, so Spain has built the Parthenon, and this is going to be a common occurrence. The Europeans and the colonies kind of building up more of the wonders in the very beginning, which means that these cities are going to be really, really important. So that's the thing. That's why I focused on the Chinook tribe here first, because yes, they are far away, and you might think theoretically they're safer, but yeah, the Iroquois are in a riskier spot, and they might get absolutely destroyed. But if they were to actually catch up in technology, get the military up, and take over some of these cities, something like Washington or London or Ottawa, that might have, obviously, it's going to have a lot of wonders for the first 150 turns. I imagine that most of these coastal nations are going to get up most of the wonders. So the Iroquois, it's kind of a 50-50 shot. They're either going to get destroyed. Same thing for the Cree. The same thing for the Cree and the Anishinaabe. So we'll have to wait and see. So who else has a Pantheon? The Sioux have the next Pantheon, and I believe that my plan worked out right. So the Canadians, the English, America actually has no Pantheon. That's kind of strange. Spain, France, and Mexico. Okay, so the Americans are the only one that didn't get up a Pantheon. Not sure why. I gave them a pretty significant advantage, but obviously if they didn't somehow find a way to get some sort of faith, then they weren't going to be able to get the first Pantheon. I wanted to see Pantheons form from the new nations, not from the tribes. I mean, obviously, I expected a few of the tribes to have a Pantheon up, or a religion up, I guess, is what I'm ultimately trying to say. But I wanted to see kind of more of an introduction of kind of a new religion from most of these territories and most of these nations. I figured that'd be a little bit more interesting. Oh, good for the Sioux. Sitting Bull has constructed the Great Library. Look at that. Proving me wrong like 1 turn later. The Sioux have managed to get up the Great Library, which is really big. But Spain's got the Stonehenge up. So this is pretty good of Napoleon. He's in a pretty good position. Although Madrid is pretty far out towards the east, they seem to be somewhat safe. We'll have to wait and see. But they're going to need to roll through Barcelona. It's going to be tough. It's going to be tough either way. The Aztecs. Oh, and the Aztecs have got their own Pantheon. Okay, so I believe that's the second wonder for Isabella. That's a pretty good start for Spain. There are a few natural wonders around here, so yes, Spain can possibly do something about that. I know that there is the Barringer crater, I believe. We also have something else up north. I'm not sure if it's Mount St. Helens or something like that. I know there's a few natural wonders. So again, Spain could really utilize that. Here's a ruin that no one's founded just yet. I guess the Sioux haven't done too much in exploration. The Dene tribe's doing a great job moving down south and actually moving closer and closer to the Shoshone. And I would be careful of the Shoshone with those Pathfinders. I mean, the Pathfinders aren't like super amazing at fighting. They're really good at finding ruins and they're being like these scouts. But yeah, ooh, and now the Cree have their 5th settler. Could they be the 3rd nation to get up 5 cities? I think so, possibly. The Europeans and colonies have not moved much. Oh, first religion has been founded, and it's actually been founded by who? It has been founded by the Dene. Wow, good for them. Wow, I am shocked, and they founded Protestantism. So let's go ahead and check in on what some of the bonuses that they're going to receive to their nation. So the beliefs of the Dene tribe of Protestantism is, so they grabbed cathedrals, which is going to provide them plus faith and plus culture. I really wish it showed me the entirety of what this building provides. I know it provides one more extra sort of resource here, but there's no, why would they just ... that? It just doesn't seem right. And then they got desert folklore, which is going to give them plus faith for every desert tile. Okay. Oh, but that's their Pantheon belief. Their founder belief is something that's exclusively going to go to this tribe, is World Church, which is going to give plus 1 culture for every 5 followers of this religion. Dang. In other cities, I'm assuming. Yeah. So that could be a lot of extra culture, and again, they are pretty safe all the way here, almost in the west coast. But then again, I mean, you're talking about a lot of other natives over in this region. As you can see, the expansion of these natives from the north is obviously to move south. We see the Shoshone kind of blobbing out all over the place here, and that's because, naturally they have more city tiles when settling a city because of their unique bonuses and stuff like that. So they're going to eat up a huge chunk of this land. It's actually a good thing for a lot of the neighboring civs that the Shoshone haven't got up their 5th city yet, because obviously, like I said, they take away just so much land with every single city. It's crazy. Turn 50, here we go. Seems like the Aztecs have a much better military. Multiple Jaguars, definitely should be able to fight back, I'm thinking, Mexico. Or at least it should be able to kind of maybe rethink Mexico's thought process and possibly going to war in the West. So Isabella has the most amount of money. I'm assuming she might have founded a few natural... Actually, no, she's supposed to have 500 gold for natural wonders. And one thing I didn't mention is that, yes, the European tribes... the Europeans and their colonies, they have been gifted 1,000 gold. I gave them 1,000 gold right off the bat. It just seemed kind of it seemed like a historical, sort of thing. They came in kind of rich, but with not as much... Not as much land, and that was just something I thought. They have been utilizing it, clearly, because, well, I mean, look who's used it the most. It's actually been Washington, only at 41 gold left, and that's good, because I believe the smart AI, oh, bam, 3rd city, Boston, has been founded. That is the first nation out here in the East Coast to find something, to find their 3rd city. Everyone else has only gotten down their 2nd city. So yeah, the cool thing, ooh, Terracotta Army by the Canadians. That's a big wonder, because that's going to double their military size. And it seems to be, pretty good for them. Now they seem to have 4 musketmen, and then 2 crossbowmen. Pretty smart move there. Got to be careful of that English rifleman, though. Elizabeth's gotten extremely lucky with that founding of that ruin to upgrade their former musketmen. So with the smart AI mod, I have been noticing a difference. The AI actually uses gold a bit more. I think that's it. I'm not sure if that's exactly in the patch notes, but something like that usually doesn't get utilized by the AI too much. Usually the AI just kind of accumulates like over tens of thousands of gold, and it's really dumb, and I really hate it, because it's like the AI should absolutely win when they have that much gold. Boom, the Iroquois and their 5th city. Oh, maybe even a 6th city. They might be expanding a little bit too fast. If they slap down this 6th city, oh, that's bad. You're talking about extremely expansive civ early on usually is not liked by their neighbors. And since their neighbors are really powerful, And the AI doesn't get that. The AI doesn't understand, like, oh, wait, I'm not supposed to expand right now? Wait, what do you mean? So the AI doesn't get that. The AI, of course, is going to stay away from war with any of these nations, but they don't understand that the more cities they pop down, the more possibility there is of, oh, great lighthouse by the English. Smart move, Elizabeth. They don't understand that that could be a cause of war itself, in and of itself. And I wonder if they're going to send this settler down south, maybe to connect their empire. It's possible. Ooh, where are they going? They actually might be going for Florida. Could we see like an Iroquois, Florida? I guess I'll switch around the pronunciation just to make both sides happy. I'm assuming. I'd be worried if I was rooting for the Mayan right now. They do have, they did manage to get up their 3 cities, but they weren't. I don't know. I question the AI's decision making there. They had the room. They certainly had the opportunity to settle here, but they allowed the Zapotec and the Aztecs to take away this land. They were in this location first. Look, there's the capital of the Zapotec here, and the capital of the Aztecs here. Remember, the Mexicans didn't have their second city up north, so they could have moved anywhere up north, but they didn't. I guess, I don't know. I mean, the Mayan did an interesting choice. And again, like I said, in terms of the colonies and the Europeans, my pick is for Mexico. I really, really like Mexico. I've been wanting to play as Mexico for quite a long time in my own single-player campaign. We'll have to wait and see, though. And I picked Mexico because they have an even better shot of taking over some of these tribes rather than, even America or Elizabeth. You know what I mean? I mean, the Iroquois, they're close by, but they're not super close. Oh, so this settler is actually moving up north. Yeah, this is moving up north. I'm not sure if that's... Yeah, it's going into modern-day Canadian territory. Bam! And boom, once again, Sitting Bull from the Sioux have gotten up their second wonder, I believe. Temple of Artemis. It's going to provide them a little bit more food. Has anybody else gotten up there? So Buffalo Creek has been founded. And they're moving their 6th city up north. Oh, man, this is scary. That is really, really scary, Iroquois. Because I don't know if you realize what you're doing. You're really getting on people's bad side by doing that. Shoshone don't seem to have any more settlers up. Chinook's got their 5th city. But they have, it's not coastal though, but it is by a river. And that's good. I mean, that's where they really need this stuff at. So it does seem like since the beginning, yeah, definitely, the salmon has moved. Wow, that is so cool. That's a really awesome, unique ability. I really like that. Not sure how they're going to display that if it goes up towards a river. I believe if I've read that right, the orca and the salmon can go into a river next to a coastal river city. There's 6th city for the Sioux. Boom. These guys are expanding really, really fast. And it's exactly what I expected. I wanted to see that. A couple of trade routes going on. Now, is there anything significant? Do I see anything? Ooh, Canada's got their 3rd city, or possibly their 3rd city. So the English are just trading with themselves. I don't see any sort of caravans from anybody else as of right now. I want to see those first trade routes go to somebody. Okay, so the French and the Spanish are trading, so I'm wondering if maybe they have a good relationship at the moment. If anyone's going to be trading with anybody, it's got to be Mexico and the Aztecs. But it doesn't look like they have a caravan. Either one of these tribes have a caravan up, and I'm making that a priority to watch out for because again that's the beginning. They're going to be getting so much science back from those routes. That's when the tribes really start to catch up. That's really when they start to catch up. The Sioux are actually in a really good spot. They can do quite a bit here. The Cree with their 5th city, whereas everyone out this way very slow. Very slow at their expansion. Canada and America seem to be the first ones to get their 3rd city out, and they've got it. They got to at least stay among half of the Native Americans, or if not more than half of the cities that they obtain. The Anishinaabe have denounced the Iroquois. Okay, and that's the beginning. Have they even settled there? Wait a sec. Oh yeah, there it is. Oh man, look how close they are to Elizabeth. Oh no. You're playing a risky game here. Pantheon has been founded by the Zapotec. Surprised no religions still. No religions at all. Great Rider. That's pretty fast they got that up. You also are kind of stepping on Spain's toes now. That's something I didn't notice in the first place. Okay, so it seems like we have our answer to the intro of this video. So the AI hasn't decided to expand or to go to war just yet. I think we will for sure see it. I mean, that's just natural. We always see those things happen around turn 100. I expected it maybe to happen before turn 100, and we still have, obviously quite a few more turns to go before we reach that turn 100. But naturally, in these AI-only campaigns, we see the wars really start to break out. Turn 100 to turn 120. So we'll have to wait and see. But anyways, guys, I'm going to have to stop right there. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys next time.